Summer is just around the corner, and if you have school-aged kids, you know you're going to have to keep them busy. So if you're still looking for an exciting summer camp experience, look no further than the YMCA. They're offering a wide range of day and overnight camps that are conveniently located in the Portland and Vancouver area, making it easy for your child to join in on the fun. They have various activities and experiences tailored to different interests and ages, and always in a safe and nurturing environment. The WISE camps are also the perfect way to keep your kids engaged, active, and learning throughout the summer months, so you don't have to hear them complaining about being bored. I was totally that kid. Oh, my poor mom. To learn more, visit ymcacw.org/camps. That's ymcacw.org/camps. Today on CityCast Portland, we're talking about how the owner of a restaurant forced to close because of an odor ordinance is preparing to sue the city. And in celebration of the oncoming patio season, we play our newly invented one-star review quiz game. Now that's where we read out loud some hilariously brutal one-star reviews of very popular outdoor spaces and then attempt to name the establishments. Joining me on this midweek roundup is our very own executive producer, John Notarianni. It's Tuesday, April 16th. I'm Claudia Meza, and this is what Portland's talking about. Welcome, everyone, to our midweek microdose of news.
Love the new
I
name.
love it, don't you? We just keep trying new things.
But the microdose, everyone needs a microdose midweek.
I think so.
Perk you up a little bit, expand your mind.
Oh my God. Well, today is the day we look at a local story that we might have missed late last week or over the weekend and talk it through. But John, how's it going? How was your weekend?
Good. I had a really good weekend. I stopped in at this new place, Take Two, it was opened by the people who own Gabbiano's.
Oh.
And it's like a new bar across the street that sort of has like a 70s vibe. But they have this little bar and they had like a chili dog with like a bolognese sauce on it.
Oh, wow.
It was great. Yeah, I went there with my sister and we hung out and had dinner and had a couple drinks.
That sounds awesome. So it's right next to Expatriate?
Yeah, actually it's right next door to Expatriate, right there on the corner. It's a new spot. So yeah, shout out Takes Two. How about you? I saw your videos online. You had a cooler weekend than I did.
Yeah. So it was the yearly alley sweep when a bunch of motorcyclists get together and start in southeast, end up in north, and there's just a circuitous route where we ride through alleys. I don't know if it's everyone's favorite, but everyone who does it has fun. Midway, they stop in St. John's, and that's usually when I stop riding, or people stop riding as well, because they've hit slims, and at that point, I'm like, I'm not going riding with anyone.
Yeah, it's time to put away the motorcycle.
Yeah, I think we're all sitting at slims now.
Yeah.
But I went on a short ride afterwards, and it was super fun, but it was also nice just to see all of these motorbikes taking over the main strip. I think you're talking about my video. Everybody was doing wheelies, and it was crazy.
It looked wild, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it lasted for over like an hour, and then I think finally the cops came, but by that time, everybody was gone, so.
Super cool.
I always feel out of place because, as you know, John, I'm kind of a nerd, and so I'm just like, oh, I like to ride bikes, but, people taking, drinking beers and doing wheelies, I'm always just like, all right, I'm going to go home now.
Oh, so that wasn't you doing the wheelies in the videos? I'm so disappointed, Claudia.
Yeah, I was filming and wheeling.
Oh my God.
Well, this week, we're going to look into the updates of a story that we featured on the show a few weeks ago. If you remember, Eddie Dong, owner of Pho Gabo, a small Portland chain of Vietnamese restaurants that was forced to close its Northeast Roseway location because of the city's controversial odor code, is now suing the city. Now, for context, you might remember we had the reporter who broke the story, Rachel Saslow, on the show to walk us through what happened. And we'll link to the episode in our show notes in case you missed it, because we're not going to dive into all the details. But during that conversation, Rachel told us that over a span of 18 months, a single neighbor had incessantly complained to the Bureau of Development Service, which is BDS and manages code enforcement, that Eddie Dong's restaurant smelled like food. Like, we're not making that up. We're not even being cheeky. More specifically, that it smelled like grilled meat. And because the city does have an ordinance prohibiting odors from impacting nearby residential neighborhoods, city inspectors came out over a dozen times to basically take a whiff and see if it was true. And all of this is pretty subjective, non-scientific stuff. Like, there isn't like a smellometer, you know? Also, in one of the inspector's notes, they wrote, the odors detected smell like a wok dish. So all of this, including the follow-through, let's just put it that way, of the city, made Eddie, the owner, and many in his community wonder if the complaints that oddly brought so many city inspectors to enforce the code was maybe targeted and possibly biased. So now I do want to point out that the city did try and help Eddie by stalling some of the fines, because this entire time he was getting fined and all of those fees were mounting. But after the seemingly only solution that the city came up with was they referred a contractor who suggested an installation of a 40,000 filtration system that wasn't even guaranteed to work. It wasn't like, you're going to do this, bud, and it's going to take, they're just like, I don't know, maybe this will work. So Eddie just cut his losses and defaulted on his lease. So he took a huge hit. Yeah, it's like a small chain, but there's only 2 other pho restaurants. This is one of 3. He's not McDonald's, let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
So where we left the story was that after a ton of outrage, which included a bunch of local Vietnamese lawmakers that released a statement basically saying, hey, this odor code seems like it could be used as a loophole for racism and discrimination, Commissioner Carmen Rubio, who oversees BDS, paused all enforcement of the odor code until it was reviewed. And to my knowledge, in late March, BDS began those procedures to update that code, but there's no update on where they are with that. And we did check in with them. There hasn't been anything.
Yeah, I mean, that's where we left it when we talked about it a couple weeks ago. I mean, the big news last week, Eddie Dong, owner of Pho Gabo, has decided to sue the city. He's filed a tort claim through his lawyer, Julie Parrish, on April 9th for, quote, economic and non-economic damages related to the city's subjective, selective, and disproportionate enforcement of city codes. So filing a tort claim, it's sort of like saying, these are the damages we request, and if the city doesn't agree to these damages, then a lawsuit is going to commence. And the people that are named in the lawsuit, a liability manager, an attorney for both the city of Portland and Multnomah County, as well as Mayor Ted Wheeler and the Portland City Council.
Every one of them? Every single one of them was named?
The city council as an entity,
okay.
Yeah. not like you and you and you.
Commissioner Rubio, Commissioner Ryan. I mean, that would have been something.
Yeah. I mean, and like the lawsuit says that this ordinance, quote, disproportionately affected residents serving ethnically diverse food, such as Vietnamese cuisine, which totally makes sense, right? Like if we are running this enforcement on just totally subjective what someone's nose picks up, it's very, very believable that a food that is more unfamiliar is going to be like, that doesn't smell good. I don't like it. So, in terms of damages, the lawsuit says that, quote, Mr. Dong has suffered reputational harm, fear, humiliation, embarrassment, emotional distress, and loss of his community that he has built as a Vietnamese restaurant in the Portland community. So, yeah, this tort claim is out there. The city says they can't comment on pending litigation, so we don't quite know where they're at with it. But it's a big development. And, where we left it last time when we talked about it, I think that we were feeling like Mr. Dong was kind of getting screwed in this whole process.
We're just like, he's owed something.
Yeah, yeah. It's good to see that he's stepping up and being like, you know what? Like, this does suck. We should do something about it.
Yeah. Yeah, the last we heard was he was depressed, and that's so sad. I'm laughing because it's just like, because we asked, Rachel, because Rachel kept in touch, that's the Willamette Week reporter, kept in touch with Eddie Dong, and she basically said like, oh, he's realizing how much this sucks.
Yeah.
But what I was curious is that when they said disproportionately affected restaurants serving ethnically diverse foods, such as Vietnamese cuisine, I wonder if they went through all the BDS odor complaints and found a trend, because that's just a sentence. Do you know? So I wonder if Julie Parrish, who is representing, by the way, name sound familiar? Former state rep and forever hot coupon mama.
Explain this for those of us who haven't caught up with the hot coupon mama bit.
Hot coupon mama, Julie Parrish. That's her handle on what used to be Twitter. She, before she became a state rep, just had a side business, where you go on a website and she would find you all the hot deals, and she just kept it. And I guess it's a passion of hers is coupons. Anyhow, she's been coming up in the news because she also represented that gentleman. I think it was a news story a week or so ago, whose house was almost taken from him through a deed scam. And so here she is again. So I'm curious if there's any evidence, or if they're just like, hey, this seems like, bias. Because I mean, I don't know if anyone out there, like an investigative reporter, I don't know, Nigel, I don't know, if someone could pull all the complaints and find a trend. Because if that's the truth, then I mean, that goes deep,
Yeah.
But yeah, like that particular Pho Gabo location had been operating for 5 years without an issue. And like it was stated that there had always been a restaurant in that location serving some kind of Asian cuisine for almost 30 years. So those food smells like were well established. And the speculation by the owner and the landlord of the building was that it was a new resident who had recently moved into the neighborhood. I don't know. There's just like so much in it. There's gentrification, there's possible bias, and then there's also there's a certain irony of the city enforcing this code, but like not giving like an actual crap about other aspects of neighborhoods and businesses. And I love that's the point that is kind of spelled out in the tort. Like Parrish wrote that although many commercial businesses in the city cannot get the city to respond to issues involving theft or menacing by those openly using drugs near their premises, the city began devoting significant resources towards the investigation of these complaints. And that Pho Gabo location had been broken into 9 times. And on the front door, it had a sign that said, "Please do not break windows. No money inside. Thank you."
No money.
Which is similar to what many businesses have on their front door.
Was that right next to the free smells
exactly.
sign like they have at Jimmy John's?
I know. Why isn't anyone talking about Jimmy John's? They're advertising free smells. This is a conspiracy.
Oh my gosh.
No, but what do you think of that? I mean, like, it is a little wonky,
Yeah. I mean, totally. I feel like so many of these like nuisance ordinances that the city enforces kind of sort of fall into the same category where it's like, really, this is where we need to be enforcing things. I can understand in terms of like a large bureaucracy of a city that maybe there's someone in the odor department that is just like a real go-getter, and making it happen. But like we do have much bigger problems as a city, especially when it comes to small businesses that need to be addressed before food smells.
I am excited that they might reveal who the complainant is, though, because that was also part of the tort claim. Did you see that?
Yeah. There isn't an exemption to public records request to conceal the identity of the person who's complaining. So
yeah, we'll see. I wonder, like, if it comes out and they're just like, "Oh, it's someone who works for BDS," and then you're just like, "Aha!" That's my conspiracy right there, guys.
So, according to the zoning code of the city, the odor threshold is the point at which an odor may just be detected by an inspector's nose, that there isn't any like special equipment required, right? I just walk around sniffing. Well, I went down the rabbit hole looking at like what sort of technology there is. And this is from somebody, Alex M 2816, who's on Reddit, who says, "I used to do some work monitoring nuisance odors, which are really difficult to define and prove. But essentially, you have a machine that you smell through, and it's called a nasal ranger."
What?
Claudia, I will direct you to the chat to take a look at this image that I just sent over.
No, it looks like... This is some silliness. It looks like a bullhorn, but for your nose, which is... Oh my God.
But yeah, there's like a filter, and like it like actually is able to identify the concentration of odors. So
there's a scientific.
This very goofy device we might see deployed around Portland soon.
I hope so.
Once the ordinance gets revised.
Well, we're gonna, of course, be keeping track of what's going on. I'm hoping that Eddie Dong sees some money, or at least all of the fines completely wiped.
Really, I hope that like this ordinance is tightened up and revised, so that future businesses don't have to worry about this either.
Same. Well, let's take a quick break here, and when we come back, we're going to do some 1-star reviews. All right, John, what are we doing? Can you set up? I'm sure people are like, 1-star reviews. What the hell are they talking about?
So this is something we've done periodically on the show, which is really fun for me, at least.
Oh, and for me, too.
So I've gone on Yelp and found 1-star reviews of objectively popular places in Portland. These are well-known businesses. And I pulled these from the Oregonian just did a list of the best bars with patios in Portland. So I went through that list to pick a couple very well-known and like pretty universally beloved bar patios and found the worst reviews on Yelp.
Okay.
Of these places.
I can't wait. But first, I want to shout out Michael Russell, who is a food contributor, friend of the pod. He just released that list, and we'll also link it to the show notes. So you can just check out all the cool patios. But first, I guess we'll find out which ones upset people the most.
Yeah. Okay. I have 3 different reviews, and hopefully you can guess the bar in the 3 reviews.
Okay.
So number 1, this is Matthew from Long Beach. Terrible drinks, terrible food, yuppie crowd, beautiful view of Portland. If only the menu could match the location.
Beautiful view of Portland. Is it the top of the 9? You know what I'm talking about?
It's not the top of the 9.
Okay.
No, it's not Departure.
Am I getting close? Am I getting?
You're on the right track.
Okay, give me another one. I need more.
All right. Review number 2. This is Nev, who is visiting from San Francisco. I had an amazing weekend in Portland and a few hours to kill before our flight. So we stopped in to grab some lunch and a beer. We headed to X, the name of the bar, immediately walked in. A young man immediately stopped us and denied us entry as we had small bags and carry-on luggage. We asked if there was a bag check. He nonchalantly said nope, as nicely as we could. We asked what we could do to resolve the situation, and he shrugged his shoulders. Very rude and a complete disappointment.
Oh my God, that is rude. So I'm assuming if it's like a view of the city outside Palomar. Is it Palomar?
No, not Palomar, but you're getting closer.
Is it in Southeast? Okay.
All right, last one. Hannah from Beaverton. I was super excited for my first outing in the last 4 months since I've been quarantined. Went to the drinks with the 3 friends for my birthday on this gorgeous rooftop bar. Worst service. They asked if they could make a mojito. Our server laughed and said no.
I'm sorry. Imagine a server just being like, no. Well, I mean, I'm thinking of rooftop. I'm just like, I think of Noble Rot, but that's a restaurant. So there's got to be like something else.
Oh, you're going to kick yourself.
Why? Why am I going to kick myself?
It's the rooftop at Revolution Hall.
Oh, that's not a bar. That's a Revolution Hall.
It's a bar. It's a rooftop bar. It's a Revolution Hall bar. So yeah, it's on Southeast Stark, Revolution Hall.
I am going to kick myself. I do love that space.
Yeah, and they've got a combined 3.9 review on Yelp. So people generally like that place, except for the few that we chose.
That's funny. Okay, well, failed that one. Give me another one.
All right, on to the next one. This has got to be my worst experience ever. Drinks took forever, tastes like stale bath water. My wife made reservations for a friend's birthday, and we got there and we're told it was first come, first serve.
Well, yeah, I mean, what did they think?
I'm not giving you much on that one, am I?
Yeah, no. I'll be honest.
Okay.
You haven't given me much on any of these.
I gave
Revolution
you
Hall.
Rooftop bar, great view of city,
true,
doesn't make mojitos. I gave you a lot.
No, but here's the deal. Revolution Hall does make like, fruity drinks. So I don't know. But mojitos is very specific though, because if you don't have mint, you don't have mint,
Yeah. All right. Here. So this is the second hint. This is from Marissa from Portland. Oh, and there's lots of exclamation points in this one. East Side Hype! Exclamation point. I won't be going back to this smoker's paradise! Exclamation point. People love it here! Exclamation point. I've heard rave reviews! Exclamation point. Basically, there's going to be an exclamation point at the end of every sentence, so I'll stop noting it.
Okay.
Super kitschy hipster place. The interior looks like a mix of a 1970s office and living room furniture. I was confused. When my friends arrived, they said it was all about the patio. So I walked out back and boom, Hundreds of people covering the very large patio. Every table had at least one smoker.
That's funny. East Side.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Ron Tom's?
Yeah, it's Ron
I
Tom's.
got it. I won.
You won.
I feel like these aren't. I feel that you have to do quads. You have to do quads. We have too many. We have too many of these. Like we have too many bars.
I'll give you quads from now on.
Okay, thank you. That really did help narrow. And I like Ron Tom's inside. Like it's, I guess there is like a sunken living room feel too, where the bands sometimes play.
Yeah, sort of like 70s living room lounge vibe.
Yeah. Okay, I can see that.
But yeah, a lot of people were very mad at the smoking at Ron Tom's, which people do smoke cigarettes on that back porch. That is a thing.
Yeah. There's a smoking section and a non-smoking section, but it's kind of weird because I think the smoking section is covered and it's like, maybe this shouldn't be covered. Maybe this should be the one that's not covered.
Maybe this should be over there. Yeah. All right. Last one. This is in North Portland. All right. First review. I didn't get in because we were, quote, too drunk. But we only had one White Claw before. Great burgers, but apparently horrible security.
I already know this. You said great burgers. Is it Bar?
Hey, you got it in one guess.
Well, great burgers, baby. I want to hear I want to hear somebody else trash Bar though.
Okay.
Magnificent porch, by the way.
Yeah, this is someone from El Cajon, California. My girlfriends and I stayed nearby this bar as a visit for one of our birthdays. Our second night out, we went to take a celebratory birthday shots and were immediately told to be quiet, that we cannot be hollering by the security guy. People had seen it was one of our birthdays and cheersed us. It was not very busy at all. Needless to say, we left immediately. Highly do not recommend going here or staying anywhere around this area.
All of Mississippi?
So this is someone visiting from California for their birthday and is having like woo birthday girl shots.
Californians hate our bars. That's what I'm picking up.
Yeah, a lot of these reviews are for people visiting from California who are just not feeling the vibe.
They're like, I can't bring in all of my luggage set. I can't go in drunk. They don't have mojitos everywhere. Oh, man.
But again, I will say all of these bars are very highly rated on Yelp and pleasant places that I like as well. So I recommend any of them. Just don't woo with your friends while you're taking birthday shots.
Yeah. I'm wondering how loud they were for someone to complain. Because I feel like that porch gets really loud.
That's what I'm thinking. They were probably being like...
In order for someone to come through and be like, you guys, you are too loud. They must have been really loud.
Totally.
Well, that was fun, John.
Yeah. You got 2 out of 3. You did great.
That's not bad. Well, thank you for putting that together. It's always fun to play. Maybe next time I'll do it and then you play.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us and for listening. John, I'll see you in 2 minutes.
I'll see you in the meeting that starts in, we got 12 minutes until the next meeting.
That's all for today here on CityCast Portland. Thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed the show, please share it with a friend, rate or leave us a review. It really does help us out. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more from around the city. Until then, see you at Slim's.